It's interesting to see just how focused and motivated so many people are now about their awakening, their spiritual awakening, their general awakening, or awakening to the reality that's underlying this life we live. It's kind of uh, a new form of goal, a new form of success. I had my first awakening 6 months ago. I had my next awakening 3 months ago. What does it even mean to be chasing awakening? I'm going to awaken. How do I awaken? What does that entail? How do I learn to awaken? And the irony with that is that you don't chase awakening. You don't start to seek out the feeling of awakening. Awaken isn't the new rich. It isn't the new stable, peaceful person that you're chasing. It's not the happy being that you thought it was. It's not some goal that you have now constructed to become and strategize how to get there and what that entails. What books should you read? Who should I watch? What should it be that I do in order to get there faster and become the better version of me? It's like personal development on steroids. It's like being pushed into a place where you really know what you are and you self realize as part of your awakening. What does that even mean? What does self realize mean? Awakening is such a paradoxical process because we live in a world constructed from concept. We are given concepts to work on and understand from the very moment we're born. Humans born onto a planet have really evolved to decide how a human should live. There's an idea for everything. There's a way to wake up in the morning, there's food to be eaten at breakfast. There are things to be done during the day, and everybody's got to do them in order to be happy and successful and be the person they're supposed to be. There's ideas about how to be fit. There's exercise. There's how to be peaceful. There's meditation. There is um, partners to chase. There's marriage to have. There is so many ideas in this existence that you must chase, all of which are made up, all of which are constructed by other humans and have been constructed by other humans arbitrarily, subjectively. They've created a way for us all to see the world, to live. They've created things we should be doing, things we should be saying, right things to do, wrong things to do. There are commandments, there are rules, there are laws, there are things that are offensive, there are things that are wrong. Every one of them is a subjective idea based on no truth whatsoever. Awakening is when you actually start to realize that you have bought in. You have bought into a existence that doesn't resemble natural human existence, doesn't resemble what the universe or nature or whatever you want to call it intended for you. It is so far removed, in fact. You're on your smartphone, you are on your computer, you are watching TV every night, you are consuming media, you are living in a disconnected world on the basis that you are connected. In fact, you are available, you're on your phone, you are at the end of a communication channel all of the time. You're watching what others are saying and doing. You can do it when you're out and about, when you're sat on the sofa. You can do it when you're on the toilet. You can do it anywhere. And you're consuming the ideas that you aspire to. You're consuming the ideas that you think you want. You're seeing the things and you're doing the things. You went to school and you consumed more ideas there. They were all subjective, but you thought they were facts. And As we awaken, what we see is that we have bought in to subjectivity. We've bought into somebody else's idea of how we might want to live. And in doing so, we've failed to see what's underneath all the ideas. We don't see the tree, we see the concept of a tree. We don't see the ground, we see the concept of the ground. We don't see the earth or the moon, we see the concept of the moon. Because we've been told what it is and how it works and why it's here. Yet we don't know any of those answers. We just think we do, and we've been bought into it. In fact, we have to create an idea about everything we see, touch, feel, want, and interact with. And as soon as we do, we don't interact with it at all. We interact with the idea of it. We walk into a room and we decide we don't like it. So we interact with that room on the basis of getting out, of being uncomfortable. We see food and we decide we do want it or we don't want it. And we interact with that food on the basis of that idea, not on the basis of the food itself. We don't taste it to find that out. We create the idea in just seeing it, smelling it. We create ideas about people and we interact with them on the basis of the idea we create. Awakening is literally the dissolving of those ideas. It is the moment when you realize that you are only interacting with idea. You are not interacting with the world as it really is. You are not seeing the things that you don't know or are indescribable. You don't know where they came from. You don't know what they mean or who created them. You are interacting with the idea of them. And as you truly awaken, those ideas fall, the things you need fall, the things you're chasing dissolve, the things you think you want dissolve, the things you think things are dissolve, and suddenly you connect with everything without that idea barrier between you and it. That's what awakening is, but ironically, you can't chase it because you're chasing the idea of it. So, as we consider awakening more deeply, it is something that is all about perspective. It's all about seeing the world around you below the ideas that you've got about it, the ones you've been given and the ones you've chosen to believe. It's about letting go of those ideas and surrendering to the fact that you don't know what it is, you don't know why you're here, and that all you're doing is interacting with your own ideas of everything and other people's ideas of everything. Awakening is when you let go. It is when you stop with the ideas, with the chasing, and with the needing and wanting. It's when you relax into total surrender and you let yourself merge with everything based on the fact that you're not creating the idea that it's separate from you, because it isn't. It's only separate because your perception and your ideas say it's separate. You differentiate the people based on different layers: friends, family, lovers, and strangers, people you like, people you don't like. Why? Because you're creating an idea about everyone. It's those interactions that change. It's the level of idea making that changes. And it is the connection that happens in the absence of those ideas that is awakening. Paradoxically, it's exactly something that cannot be chased. It can only be allowed and let go and felt and become. Because as you let it go and realize that there's so much more than you and your ideas in this existence, this thing that you don't know what it is, you suddenly start to see that behind all the tech, behind all of the idea-based relationships, there are so much more deeper things to engage with. And when you let go, you don't need to label them. You don't need to judge them. You don't need to decide they are good, bad, right, wrong. You don't need to think anything about them. You just need to let them be, and let yourself be and connect with them.